Well, hello, welcome back. So this tutorial is going to be on the Sugarplum Fairy look, which is actually my favorite out of these 4 featured holiday glam series looks that I'm doing. It's a lot of soft purples. It's very sparkly. I love this look. It's just so pretty. It's very much like a Sugarplum Fairy, which is probably why it's my favorite. So stick around and I will show you how to recreate this look. So, for this really pretty, soft, romantic Sugarplum Fairy look, there's not a lot of dark colors in this look at all. Everything is very soft, but it's also very cool toned with all the purple. Because of that, I wanted to cancel out some of the redness that I have naturally occurring on my eyelids. So instead of my normal eyeshadow primer, I instead am using this right here. This is the equivalent of a MAC paint pot for Mary Kay. This is a cream eyeshadow, and the shade that I use is called Beach Blonde. If you are really fair skin, this is going to be a great product for you when you want to cancel out that redness. It is a cream eyeshadow that has the eyeshadow primer already mixed into it. So when you apply this, you can wear this all day long. It is waterproof. It's not going to crease on you. It's not going to get dry and cakey and flaky and gross. If you are darker skin tone, there's a color called Iced Cocoa, which is gorgeous. And then if you're kind of like a medium beigey, tan, not glow in the dark like this, there is one called Apricot Twist that's really pretty as well. So the very first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up my eye color brush, and I'm going to pick up as much of the Shimmering Lilac color as I can. This is really the star color for this look. It's really pretty. I love this color. It's very shimmery, and it's very light, but it is such a gorgeous color, and it's a color that would look really pretty on all skin tones as well. So what I'm going to do is, keeping my brush flat against my eyelid, I'm going to really lightly press this color all over my lid up to my crease. And I'm actually going to go a little bit into my crease on this one instead of keeping it underneath. And then once I've got it on and I like it, I'm going to sweep it across. This is a look that is going to be absolutely gorgeous on everybody, every skin tone, every eye color. I love this look so much. I got to teach this look to 2 different groups of consultants in the Middle Tennessee area, and I had an absolute blast. I didn't have a single girl who put this on who didn't love it, and I have to say it's my favorite out of all 4 of these looks. I will probably be wearing this quite a bit this year at different holiday parties and things. Once you have that Shimmering Lilac color applied, I'm then going to pick up the color. I'm actually going to use Hazelnut. In the picture it says Sienna for the blending color, and Sienna is a really beautiful color. If you are someone who's medium to fair skin tone and you have kind of auburn hair or brunette or blonde with some red tones in it, this would be perfect for your brows. It's the matte blending shade for this color, but Sienna actually comes off really red on me, and I wasn't really happy with how it looked blending out with this look just because I've got more pink in my skin tone, so I didn't want to add any more redness to it, especially with this eye look being cool tone. I wanted to kind of keep it neutral. So instead, I'm going to break the rules. You can do that in makeup. Did you know that? So instead of Sienna, I'm actually going to pick up Hazelnut, which is a more neutral tone color on me, on my small blending brush, and I'm going to work this into my crease with gentle back and forth windshield wiper motions. And you don't want to apply just a whole lot of this color either. You want this look to be very soft and subtle and blended. And then as soon as I've got that color where I want it, I'm going to pick up my fluffy eye crease brush and just work it back and forth to smooth out the lines in between the Hazelnut and the Shimmering Lilac. Okay, so now that we have that Hazelnut in our crease and blended out, I've wiped off my small crease brush really well, and what I'm going to do now is pick up the color Sweet Plum. This is actually the color I set my eyebrows with because of my hair color at the moment. But I'm going to pick up just a little bit of this on my small crease brush, and I'm going to start working this into the outer corner of my eye. So all I'm going to do is just keep working this color first of all in circular motions, and then blending it out into that outer V shape, and dragging a little bit of it into the crease until you like the shape. And then, of course, not forgetting to drag a little bit of it down onto your lower lid. And I'm actually going to take this one all the way in, take the dark color all the way in this time. And you'll see why in a second. And then once you've got everything all soft and blended out, if you lost a little bit of the color intensity with that Shimmering Lilac as you were blending, that's okay. Just pick up a little bit more and apply it where you need to. Keeping in mind the Shimmering Lilac, along with the other 4 of these new eyeshadows that were released, featured in these 4 holiday looks, these are more along the lines of a sparkle eyeshadow instead of a shimmer eyeshadow. So for example, if you look at Shimmering Lilac right next to Sweet Plum, you'll see a big difference as far as the sparkle payoff. But I've also had a couple of people tell me that the texture is a little bit different of the eyeshadow in these 4 new ones, and that's true because the size of the grain of glitter in these 4 new eyeshadows is bigger than in the other shimmery eyeshadows that Mary Kay already has in the line, which will obviously change the texture of the eyeshadow a little bit. So instead of just a soft shimmer, you get more glitter, you get more shimmer payoff with it. And the way that I have found to kind of get the best, make the best use out of that, is to, instead of sweeping these colors on, because unless you are going to be able to apply the eyeshadow immediately on top of the eyeshadow primer before it's had a chance to dry for a second, it's not really going to stick. And even if you do try to apply these eyeshadows on top of eyeshadow primer that is still really wet, it could get kind of goopy and gross. It's just not how you want to do it. So instead of trying to sweep these colors on, I would try either applying them with your finger, so rubbing your finger into the eyeshadow and then patting it on your eye, or with your brush, instead of doing a sweeping motion, patting it onto your eye, and that will get more of the shadow to adhere to the lid, and then you won't have as much fallout or anything like that. So I hope that does help some people. I'm then going to go in with the final eyeshadow pictured in this look, which is the new Sparkling White. And I'm going to pick that up on a clean eye color brush and just sweep this under the brow, working it back and forth to help blend out that harsh line, and then picking up a little bit more and concentrating this here on the inner corner to really brighten up the look, as if this look wasn't sparkly and bright enough. And then I'm just going to pick up my blending brush one more time and just kind of work those two together to soften it just a little bit more. Okay, so now that the shadows are done, it is time for liner and lashes. We are almost there. And to break tradition just a little bit, I normally go for my gel liner with my brush, but for this one, since it does have that double wing effect at the end of the eye, I'm going to go in with a little bit of a different technique. I'm going to use liquid liner first this go round. The best tip that I could give as far as liquid liner is to rest your elbow on a solid, non-moving surface, so your makeup table or bathroom counter, as you are applying this, and then just to keep the brush flat against the corner of your eye as you are applying the liner. And then don't use the tip of the brush until you get to the end and it's time to do your wing. So, keeping the brush flat, just run that along the tops of your lashes, filling in all the little empty spaces that you can in between your eyelid and the lashes, because you don't want to see any eyeshadow or skin peeking through. You want it to be a consistent, opaque black line. And then once you've got the shape, then just go over it to clean up the edges and make it look precise. So now that you have your liquid liner on, and even if your wings don't match, that's okay, girl. Nobody's going to be all up in your space checking to make sure your wings are the exact same size. Once you have your liquid liner on, one tip that I can offer is to make sure that after you have applied your liquid liner, don't look up or straight ahead immediately as soon as you've put it on. Keep looking down for just a minute or two until you can tell the liner is dry, so that when you do look up or straight ahead, you don't end up with a black line up on your eyeshadow that you just spent all this time working on and making pretty. So look down until the liner is dry, and then you're good to go. So in the picture you can tell that the model has a double wing, which I'm actually really impressed with, because you don't see a whole lot of super daring stuff like that from Mary Kay looks, and with a double wing I'm really impressed. To be complete, I was really happy to see a double wing, I'm just gonna say. And the model's eyes are tight lined, which means that the inner rims of both her upper and lower lids are lined with black. But again, I can't find my black pencil liner, so I'm not going to do that part. But I am going to do the double wing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a little trick. If you're not very comfortable with applying eyeliner underneath your lids, I am going to say don't try to apply a liquid liner underneath your lids, because it can get very messy and it doesn't often work very well. Even I'm not good at it. But a trick that you can do is to line your eyes with shadow. And my favorite brush to do that with is the eye smudger brush. So what I'm going to do is pick up a little bit of Kohl eyeshadow, which is a very dark, matte, very pigmented black shadow, on the tip of my eye smudger brush, and I'm just going to run this shadow as close to my lash line as possible, not making a whole lot of strokes, pulling the brush very far away from my and it looks just like I lined my eyes with a regular black eyeliner. So I'm going to do the same again on my other eye. And if you are new to eyeliner in general, this can be a really great way to practice and kind of get comfortable with it before you start using actual liner. So once your bottom lash line is done, I'm then going to go back in with my liquid liner, and I know I just said not to do liquid liner on your bottom lash line, and that's true, but I am going to use it just on this outer corner here to make the double wing. So looking at the picture, the model has a very thin, small bottom wing that really just kind of accentuates the wing that she's already got on the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of follow the line, follow my natural lash line, and it's almost like all you're doing is extending your bottom lash line out with the liner. So if you think about it, if you were just simply taking a pencil and extending the line where your bottom lashes are, if you were just going to take this and keep going with it, that's the line you want to follow to do your second wing. So it's just extending that bottom lash line a little bit more. What I'm going to do with this is use this as my lip liner. I can't talk while I'm doing that. So what I'm going to do is use this as my lip liner and just go along the edges of my lips with this nude kind of color. I love how these crayons smell. They smell like cake. And they're so creamy. Oh, love it. And this is a really great nude color. It's not so nude that it makes you look like you have no lips at all or like you're sick, but it's a really great, just warm, natural toned pencil. For somebody who is fair like me, it's got just really great your lips but better kind of color. And then for somebody who is bronze tone, this is going to be a fantastic just match your lips perfectly kind of color. I love this crayon so much. Okay, so now I'm going to color everything in. And you could leave it at that if you wanted to and just keep it kind of semi-glossy. The At Play pencils are fantastic. They go on really soft and creamy, and as they dry, they don't really fade as far as like, they're not very shimmery, but they do kind of leave just like a really pretty natural looking kind of softness to your lips. I don't know how to describe it entirely, but it's really pretty. And then life is too short to not sparkle. If you know me at all, you know that's my motto. But what I'm going to do now, sorry, I got an itch. Okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go in with the At Play Gloss in Toasted, and this is literally the extra pout. Make my lips look a little more pouty. And there you go. That is the completed look. I hope you enjoyed it, and I would love to see if any of you recreate these looks on yourself. Please share those pictures with me. I would love to see that. You can find the links down below for all of the products that I used, as well as links to my Facebook page and my Instagram so that you can share pictures with me, because I do want to see them. If you are a customer, there is a link below where you could get a discount on all the products that I used, but only if you do not have a Mary Kay consultant currently. And if you are a consultant, I would love some requests on videos. I got a lot of really great video ideas at our previous unit meeting, and I would love to hear some more suggestions from you guys on what you would like some help on teaching to your customers and learning yourself. So thanks so much. I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next time. Bye.